Hi, folks. Welcome to Danny's Corner. My name is Danny. Today, I want to talk about something I heard, and it's about who has been ranked the worst president. It turns out that it has been Donald Trump. There's an article. I'm going to try and post it here. I haven't read it myself, but I'm going to post it here so you guys can see how this impacts everything and how this divides us even more. The reason I'm bringing this up, it's for reasons that really should be concerning to all of us. Number one, I believe that for a long time, as Americans, we have been placing people on a pedestal in one way or the other. Um, and the opposite is also true. We have casted people aside just for who they are or what they represent. Both extremes are bad, especially in politics, where there's not supposed to be any of this. But today I want to bring up this question to you based on this investigation or this ranking, if you will, of worst presidents of the United States or best presidents. Abraham Lincoln was the first one to be ranked, meaning the best president in the history of the United States. On the opposite side, Donald Trump was the worst. Now, let me ask you something challenging. If Abraham Lincoln had been a Democrat, and if he still accomplished everything that he accomplished, I'm wondering if the Republicans would still support him in spite of him had been, if he had been a Democrat, or if they would have come up with a bunch of excuses of why he was never a good president. Same thing with, Trump, let's say. If Trump would have been a Democrat, which, by the way, he was before becoming president of the United States, if he had been a Democrat and if he had done exactly the same things that he did 70 years ago, because he started his presidency in 2017, something like that. Anyway, if he would have done the same thing, if he would have said the same thing, but as a person from the left, would right wingers, would the MAGA movement still would had it existed before or not? We sorry, I'm stuttering a lot. Would we still have this animosity that we're having now? The point that I'm trying to make is, whom are we actually for? Are we actually for the American people as a whole, regardless if they're Democrat, Independent, Republican, or Green Party, or whatever party there is at this point? Or are we um, for other things? And I think this is a question that we are supposed to ask ourselves daily. Am I for the American people? Doesn't matter what side they're on? Or am I for my party? Do I get angry because of what's happening to America as a whole? Or do I get angry because of what somebody says about President Trump, or if somebody bashes Abraham Lincoln, or if somebody bashes Joe Biden or Bill Clinton, or if somebody bashes FDR, or if somebody bashes George W. Bush? And this leads to, what I call American symbolism. I believe that as a country, we do not respect one another. We do not respect one another's ideas. We do not respect each other's boundaries. We only respect those people that agree with us, that think like us, that walk like us, that talk like us, that believe the same thing we do. If anybody else dares to walk, talk, believe, think different than we do, they are the worst of the worst. And there's nothing that can change my mind. And nobody that can change my mind. That's the American attitude that we have going thus far. And this is what's tearing this country apart. And I spoke a little bit about this when I made the live a stream, which I had to delete because it wouldn't end. This is why I'm talking about this now. It's sad to know that things like these are still happening, that we're putting party first, politics first, people first, before our country. We blame everybody else. Listen to this list. We have blamed undocumented workers. We have blamed the Chinese, Asians in general. We have blamed Mexicans. We have blamed blind people, people with disabilities in general, people with mental illness, the LGBT community. There was a point in time when, and still, Jews are being attacked. Black people have been persecuted, attacked, and stripped from certain things, including their personhood. Women. Should I go on? How many times are we going to blame other people instead of ourselves for the actions that we have done? It's easy to blame other people, right? Blacks, Latinos, etc. But it's easy to blame them. After all, we're not from that culture. We don't understand that culture. It's easy for us. What's hard for us to do is to look within ourselves and see if there's something within ourselves that can be redeemed. If there's something within us that can be transformed. If there's something within us that has to change. If there's something within us that is not allowing us to see further than we're seeing right now. We are not capable of doing that. Or are we? Until we don't do that, we are going to keep on making the same mistakes, and we are not going to fix the issues that we have going right now, such as gun violence, human trafficking, drug addiction, homelessness, mental illness, etc. We need to understand that as a society, we have made idols of things that should not be considered idols. We should have never made these things idols. We care more about statues, flags, the national anthem. We care more about party, individuals, and commandments, and things that don't have anything to do with who we are as a whole. If instead we were to change all of that and say, I care about the United States as a whole. I care more about people more than things. We would be better off. In the next installment, I'm going to make a second part to this video. I'm going to speak a little bit more about this and give you some examples of what I'm talking about. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, to share, to comment, leave a question, a suggestion, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.